Hello, everybody. My name is Professor Gatrad. I'm a consultant pediatrician at the Manor Hospital in Warsaw. Today, I'm going to talk to you about air pollution and how it impacts on children. So I'll share my slides. I've got a certificate in planetary health, and I'm also a member of the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health Climate Change Committee. We as humans have chosen to pass on to our children the consequences of our action of insanity over the last 50 years. But we should realize what Einstein said. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Air pollution has occurred as a result of climate change. And global warming is as a result of the greenhouse gases surrounding our Earth, which are essential to a certain degree to keep us warm. Otherwise, we would be 20 degrees in the minus. But we have too many greenhouse gases, which have created a thick layer over our Earth, warming it. Climate change is resulting in many diseases around the world. I am just going to concentrate on air pollution today, but impacts of heat wave, how it affects obesity, diabetes, and many other diseases, I will discuss in another session. Why talk about children? 20% of children today are 100% of adults tomorrow. 50% of children around the world are less than 30 years old. The health burden of climate change is falling on 88% of all less than 5-year-olds around the world. And if we take into consideration just those countries where the production of greenhouse gases is less than 10%, that is impacting on 99% of that population of children. It'll interest you to know that 93% of children around the world live in areas where there's air pollution, which is above the WHO guidelines. From indoor pollution, 1 million children die from respiratory problems. Climate change, therefore, is a child's rights issue. They should have clean air, clean water, and nutritious food. But a child does not have a voice, as indeed this young lady, Ella Kissy Deborah, she didn't have a voice. She's a girl who was repeatedly admitted into hospital with asthma attacks and eventually died. And the coroner gave a verdict of the death having occurred as a result of air pollution. So air pollution is caused by these gases: nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, which is not a greenhouse gas, low-level ozone, which is ozone created by cars and industry as a result of oxides of nitrogen, and also volatile hydrocarbons being photooxidized into ozone. Ozone's nasty to the chest, but this level of ozone creates a secondary greenhouse gas. But the ozone that people normally talk about is the one that's in the stratosphere, and that's where the ozone hole is, which is different. As far as greenhouse gases are concerned, carbon dioxide is prominent. It forms 80% of greenhouse gases. Methane, although 10%, it actually is 80 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. Then there are oxides of nitrogen and 3 of these other gases in smaller quantities. Air pollution is a mixture of the gases that I've talked to you about, which are volatile organic gases, inorganic gases, but they also have particulate matter in it. PM is particulate matter 10, which is 10 microns, PM 2.5, 2.5 microns, and PM 0.1. It's PM 2.5 and less that creates a lot of problem, not only to the lungs, but these reach other parts of the body through the circulation and create problems in all organs of the body. Air that's polluted also contains viruses, bacteria, and also fungi. So this is what's creating the problem of air pollution. So climate change and air pollution are caused by the same thing, burning. What makes children more vulnerable? They have a lifelong exposure to all the toxins and everything that I've talked about. 80% of lung air spaces are developed after birth. Children have a higher metabolic rate and a higher respiratory rate. So when they're running around, they're taking a lot of these toxins. They have a large surface area, so they can't sweat very easily. And they are short, so they can take in fumes from, for example, exhausts of cars. They have an immature immune system, immature behavior as you would expect. And they are also subject to a lot of indoor pollution. Now, it'll surprise you to know that indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times more than outdoor pollution. And as you can see here, many houses in poor developing countries have cooking inside, and also they burn wood and coal to keep themselves warm. So that's what's creating a lot of problem around the world. There are also other gases inside, and one of them I could highlight is actually smoking, which creates a lot of problems for children. Sources of pollution, I don't have to tell you what they are, from fires, from sandstorm. Sandstorm actually has got particulate matter 10 in it, and all these other transport, industries, agriculture, all of this cause and produce air pollution. Polluted air also contains heavy metals, such as lead, which impacts on particularly the brain and other parts of the body, and mercury, which affects the developing brain also. As far as air pollution index is concerned, there are 5 components: sulfur dioxide, ozone, which is in smog, nitrous dioxide, PM10, and PM2.5. Each of these is measured separately. This is just an example of PM2.5, which is made up of solids, liquids, and gases. This particulate matter can travel thousands of miles through wind and through rain, but PM, that is 10 or 0.1, tends not to. The WHO guidelines are, at the moment, 15 micrograms per square meter in 24 hours as an average. In the UK, we are accepting up to 35 micrograms per cubic meter average in 24 hours. But it is suggested that from 2022, WHO is going down to 5 micrograms per cubic meter, and UK may well accept 25 micrograms per cubic meter in average as a target in 24 hours. Through the pandemic, it's been found that if there's an increase of 1 microgram per cubic meter of particulate matter, this leads to 8 times increase in mortality from COVID. This is just a picture that was taken in Australia as a result of fires in Brazil. So you can tell how far air pollution can travel. People dying around the world, 7 million every year due to exposure to air pollution. As I mentioned, PM 2.5 and less than 0.1 get through into the lungs and also our circulatory system, causing inflammation, what we call oxidative stress, and impact also on the autonomic system. Baby inside the mother in the womb is impacted by the mother breathing polluted air. This affects not only the child being premature, possibly of low birth weight, increases infant mortality, and possibly causes malformation in babies. As far as children are concerned, their lung growth, as I've said, can be stunted, up to 14% even. The development is affected, and they have other chest problems. Older people have lung cancers even without smoking, strokes, heart disease, and also diabetes. And it has been related to dementia even. So, ladies and gentlemen, air pollution affects all organs. In the UK, 36,000 people die annually as a result of air pollution. So in the short term, it makes your breathing difficult, causing coughs and wheezing, etc. In the long term, it reduces your life expectancy. This is an experiment that people carried out in India over a period of 6 days. These artificially prepared lungs were kept outside a window, and after 6 days, can you see what's happened to them? So it's possible that in future, this is going to be our new normal and a taste of possibly what's to come. As far as parents are concerned, some personal measures, particularly as concerning cars, they should stop cars idling outside schools, hospitals, etc. They should take quieter routes. Cars that are stopping and starting produce much more air pollution. Streets around schools should only be for pedestrians and cyclists. And this is something the council has to look at. One should switch off one's ventilation in the car when you are in a traffic queue. Mums crossing the road should appreciate that a car exposes those babies to exhaust fumes. And we should support marginalized communities in helping them mitigate the effects of air pollution. Importantly, we want all politicians to stop incentives and investments in fossil fuel production and encourage renewable sources of energy. This is absolutely crucial. We should set ambitious clean air laws to safeguard our health, publish public health-based air pollution plans, vastly improve public information on air pollution, such as to parents, set out funding and guidance for traffic reduction and planning of roads, and commit to inclusive walking and cycling policies. As Einstein said, and I'll finish off with him again, the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything. Civilization is writing history in a crooked way, in a world which is volatile, uncertain, ambiguous, and inequitable. But we still have ink in our pen to change our ending for the children of our future. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.